Hi, you're listening to Tru Thoughts or watching Tru Thoughts, depending how you're checking this out. And I'm Robert Louis, and I'm joined via Zoom by Slowe, aka Sophie. Hello, Sophie.
Hello.
How are you? If you don't know, Sophie's a new signing to the label, and you do a project called Slowe. I would describe you
Yeah,
as a producer, singer, songwriter. Is that the right order? How would you describe yourself?
yeah. I'd say that's right. I'm a producer that also sings, is what I like to say,
Okay.
rather than a singer that also produces.
Right. And so you're based in Bristol, and
Yeah,
we got in touch. You, Graham, who works at Believe Now, used to work at Mr. Bongo, was based on someone we know from Brighton. He recommended you did some work experience. Is that right, at Mr. Bongo? And then you sent a lot.
yeah. When I was in uni, I spent 2 weeks doing an internship work experience at Mr. Bongo, and yeah, just kind of kept in touch with the team throughout the years, and sent Graham my demos, and yeah, he passed along your email and said that I should send it to you,
Yeah.
which I'm very glad he did.
Yeah, and then I got it, and I was really impressed with it. And you've done in fact, it's the song that we've put out, the first single that we've put out, WYLTK, and you did this amazing video with it as well. How would you describe the song and the music that you're doing?
Yeah, so I'd say it's very much a mix of all my different influences, but it's I'd say quite soul influenced, and my production is probably quite yeah, hip hop and neo soul influenced as well. But it's definitely not two in the box. I think I because I listen to so much different music, different different things come into it as well. Not It's not straight down the middle, if that makes sense, I think.
Yeah. And you, so
Yeah,
basically, you'd self-released the music initially when you'd sent to us, and there was a great video.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the video as well. Who put that together?
Yeah, I love the video. I want to like live in the video. A friend of mine, a mutual friend from Bristol called Gina Tratt, she's an amazing animator, and I basically was a really big fan of her animation style. So I reached out and just said, will you help create an animated video for this song? And I kind of sent her some pictures of my room, and I didn't give her much to work with, to be honest. I kind of said I want it to be a bit psychedelic, and lots of colors, but she kind of just ran with the song and with the look of my studio room, and yeah, just created this amazing kind of trippy world, and this little character of Slowe in the video, which I thought was amazing. I love it.
Because I loved it because you'd sent the clip of the video and the some of the music that was already out there, and then when we
Mm.
arranged I really liked it. We arranged to do a Zoom, and then when we did the Zoom, it was like, oh, when I was
Yeah.
bass, and I thought that was brilliant. It was a very, I guess, really an honest sort of, as an artist, I think that's what we look for at Tru Thoughts,
Mm.
is someone just trying to be themselves, rep who they are and where they're about. And immediately there was just felt really good connection seeing that you're just trying to
Yeah.
say who you are. And I think I noticed you had the turntables, and then you were vinyl, and then I was following you after that. We were chatting and discussing the deal and all of that, but following you on Instagram, and then I noticed, you're really into hip hop, because I didn't realise that. We were chit chatting about music, nothing too deep,
Yeah.
in the wider sense of music, and then I was seeing you're posting on Instagram about hip hop. So tell us a little bit about what you're into, the type of hip hop you like.
So I think one of the reasons I started producing when I first started in uni was because I got really into 90s, like golden age, as they say, hip hop. People like Tribe Called Quest and DJ Premier, Pete Rock. I became like obsessed with how they would use samples and make obviously amazing songs. So that's kind of how I started. I started by a friend of mine who was a producer, kind of taught me how to use Ableton, and use like the sampling stuff on Ableton, and I would just be making these really terrible sounding now beats. It's just sampling random things, and so yeah, that's how I kind of got into it. But I got more into it my favorite producers, I'd say, would be Q-Tip and J Dilla and Madlib, and how they kind of are really melodic and really colorful with their production. Yeah, so I became really enthralled by all that, and I've been collecting records since I was a teenager. It used to be like more like indie records, and then as I've gotten more into it, I've got a nice collection of like hip hop 12 inches, and I've been trying to collect lots of like samples, records that were sampled in famous tunes. So yeah, it just kind of all kind of went along with that, and then I realized that sampling is actually quite hard to do in this industry at this time. So that's why I started then kind of moving into making my own, not sampling, but making, I guess, sample inspired music, where I try and make the drums sound like it's from a record, or having a song which is based on a loop. So I'm not actually using samples, but it's still, that's kind of my mentality, I'd say. So it's definitely informed, even though I'm not rapping on any songs.
And you are a sort of multi-instrumentalist, is that right? You can play a few instruments?
Yeah, I'd say master of none, but I can just about play piano, guitar, a bit of flute, and a bit of saxophone. I've just bought a bass for the first time as well, so I'm trying to learn that too, but very much not an expert in any of them. And when I've got a song, I'll more often than not get one of my friends who are masters of their instrument. I'll get them to do a guitar part better than I would. But for me, it's very useful to be able to play those things when I'm writing and getting ideas. But yeah.
And that's amazing. So you came down to Brighton the other week, and we were chatting. I was talking about, you should maybe DJ. What are you planning to DJ out? And you've never really sort of DJ'd out. But I asked you about doing a DJ mix, which you've done for us as well. So do you want to tell us a little bit about that DJ mix and some of the music that's on there?
Yeah, so it was super fun to put together. Actually, once I guess because I've never put a mix together, the initial thought was like, oh, can I do this? Do I have to be amazing at the mix? But when you said no, just focus on the track selections, I was like, well, I can do that. I make a playlist quite often on my Instagram and share it. So I thought I'd just do a kind of like introduction to me and my music taste kind of mix, where if I had to give you 20 songs or whatever that I felt summed up the music that I love to listen to, that's kind of what this mix is. It's got hip hop, it's got soul, it's got like old school soul as well as kind of newer stuff. It's got some Brazilian stuff on there. So yeah, I tried to make it as wide reaching as possible, and I think it's all on vinyl except a couple of songs of more local people. So yeah.
Okay, so that's up. That mix we put up on Tru Thoughts Mixcloud and Tru Thoughts SoundCloud, which is just a standalone mix from Slowe. Definitely check it out because it's really good. I was really enjoying listening to it when you sent it through. And it's got it's got like Arthur Verocai. Who else is on there? There's Kamal Williams.
Yeah, Charisma, Peanut Butter Wolf. We got a bit of Mad Villain. Obviously, I wanted to put something from Tru Thoughts on there as well, so I included a Moonchild song as well. Gil Scott Heron, and my track obviously starts off. But lots.
Yeah, it's brilliant. So it's really good. So check that out as well. And then so right now you're sort of recording. We've got another single that's just getting planned at the moment, and you're working on recording an album. How are you finding the transition from self-releasing to being on a label? Has that been okay? Has it been a bit different? Have you lost control a bit as a sort of control freak? I know how it might be. Yeah.
It's funny actually, because you're right, I am a bit of a control freak, and it was weird.
I was saying for myself, but yeah.
It was, I wasn't sure if I would be like too like, oh, what's next, but I think not having to deal with sending a million emails and doing all those things was definitely a blessing. It's been really nice, to be honest. I've just been able to concentrate on finishing other music and just promoting it from my end, rather than trying to send out a million press releases and getting no response, which is what happened last time.
Great, that's good. And so I know we were talking just before. You've been recovering. You haven't been well, but you went and saw Kendrick Lamar up in London.
Yes,
How was that?
That was amazing. He's someone I've actually been trying to see for years. I've had tickets to see him like twice and it's not worked out for various reasons. I think once I got scammed out of them and once it was cancelled due to COVID. So it was like I've finally been able to go and see. And I haven't been to a big show at an arena in a long time. So it was really exciting. Yeah, it was really, really awesome. I loved it.
Okay, oh, brilliant. That's good. Because yeah, the Glastonbury performance was amazing, and it would just felt like, you know, to actually see him live is probably another level as well, isn't it? So,
yeah, I was literally sat watching the Glastonbury performance like at home, and because the tickets were released, I think a couple of weeks before, and I had to look at them, and I thought, oh, they're quite expensive. I don't know if I should do it. And then I watched the Glastonbury performance, and literally during that, I bought the tickets. I was like, I have to go. I have to see this.
So look, if you want to just let everybody know where, if they're down with social media, like where do you post and what's your play on socials?
So you can find me, I think, on most things. I'm at Slowe Music. I probably post most regularly on Instagram. And I try and keep up on Twitter and Facebook when I can, but they probably get forgotten a bit. And TikTok as well. I try and post a video every so often, but Instagram is probably my main one. At Slowe Music.
SLOWE. Yeah, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, Slowe with an E.
That's great. So look, it's been brilliant to catch up with you and have a talk.